I really don't need this. Thank you for coming here, ladies and gentlemen. This is meeting number 477, wow, of the Lake George Park Commission. Who's going to tell me we have a quorum? I can count. Oh, you are? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Justin, my man, thank you.
I wondered who was taking the notes today. Everybody's got a copy of the minutes of last meeting. Has anybody got any corrections, additions, comments? Do I hear anything?
Yes, you
Move. Did I hear a motion over there?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor of approval of last month's meetings minutes, say so.
Aye.
Aye. Against them? Abstentions? Carried. Same thing with fiscal actions report. Moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Project review actions report.
Resolution 2018-36. Whereas the Commission has received and reviewed the Project Review Actions Report prepared by the staff dated August 14, 2018, and whereas the Project Review Committee recommends acceptance of the Project Review Actions Report, now therefore be resolved that the Commission directs that the Project Review Actions Report be incorporated in the minutes of the full Commission meeting. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the project review actions report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Well, we only have one project this morning, and that's the Schroon Lake Marina here in the town of Hague. Does anybody from the staff have something to say about that?
Yep. So Scott Olson is here to represent the marina. It's an existing marina on Decker Hill Road that's authorized for outdoor storage of 70 vessels. They've made an application for an increase for outdoor storage of 156 vessels and the construction of a 4,800 square foot building for the indoor storage of 20 vessels. And Mr. Olson's here to represent the
Thank you.
project.
Someone, you done?
Yes.
I know I got you. Someone here to speak further?
My name is Scott Olson. I represent the Schroon Lake Marina, outside Lake Marina. We operate the properties. We started, I think, about 3 years ago with a small storage operation, and it has since grown and has required us to apply for the stormwater plan and the expansion. More than that, any questions? It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Any questions from commissioners on the marina application?
Yeah, we visited the site this morning, and we're questioning the use of, as you drive all the way to the rear, and then you get the hill that, probably 15% hill, and your plan shows parking boats on that hill. And we're wondering on a long-range basis, the stability in life of the soils on that hill, et cetera.
Well, once we get that cleared up, we'll obviously plant some grass and we'll have some grass growing on that hill. We'll have to hay this fall for the storage this year. But grass doesn't seem to have a problem growing there. We've had to mow quite a bit. I think we'll be fine. We have a good plan. The engineers created this stormwater plan that I think creates a stable environment for park boats.
Is that going to be a stone road that will lead up?
Yeah. We put this spring we had a little bit some mud issues, so they asked us to put some structured entrance, so we put the crushed stone in there. Beyond that, it's gravel just in. So once this is established, there'll be gravel roads throughout the area that we occupy, either number 2 stone or packed gravel. But we'll have to juggle some stuff around beforehand to get because we have equipment in there now, so we're going to move stuff around and then we'll do the lower part first, and then we'll do the upper part and get it all settled in. Yeah.
I think that the slope is a little bit dangerous, if you will.
It's true.
And I think that one of the conditions that I would propose is that you not park boats on 10% greater slope.
We park empty trailers on that slope, but we wouldn't park boats on it. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Were you referring to trailers or boats or
Just
boats?
for trailers only, no
Just
boats.
trailers only?
No
Okay.
boats on the trailers.
Yeah.
But the way the drawing is, how do we know, I mean, it doesn't distinguish between boats or trailers, it just has them on that.
Well, yeah, we have well, the parking area itself, for the boats is a little bit forward of that, and it's a little bit leveled out. That steeper area in the back, I don't think there's any boats, drawn to park on that section of it. We did park some trailers there this fall, or this summer.
We're talking about the immediate access. In other words, you've got the level, let's call it the main
Right,
whole
main
section. And where you turn right, that immediate hill there, that was the
Yeah.
one, the railroad portions, I mean, if you're looking for a level spot, you're not gonna find it there anyway.
Well,
But it was, they seemed very appropriate,
Right.
even going around to the right when you're up the hill.
Sure.
But it's that 40 feet of hill that seems
Yeah.
like it's,
Not appropriate for parking boats,
yeah.
and I would agree with you that we.
Yeah, your plan does show boats all in that area, from the building, the new building, right up the hill. It's showing boats, and the first ones, they're going parallel with the contour lines, which kind of makes sense. But then there's like 6 of them that are right on that steep slope. And it's not only the safety thing, I think we'd have an erosion problem there, that would cause the whole bank to give way. And I can't imagine that would be an erosion problem, constantly putting boats on that.
We're happy to make any accommodations to make this,
I think what he's saying is he's only gonna park trailers, empty trailers there, and not boats on the trailers. That's the condition we put in on him.
Okay.
Actually, after listening to all the laymen, I would like to hear staff's professional opinion on the stormwater plan. Well, he's here in case, so he can talk.
So it's a relatively straightforward plan. He hired One Chip Engineering. They've got on the, let's see, where's the north arrow? So on the rear of the site, they're going to have a swale. So anything that comes off that hill where the boat storage is will be directed to a stormwater control device at the bottom of the lot. And along the entirety of the drive-in will be a swale that goes to a large device, relatively shallow but big surface area. So we'll take advantage of the good soils in that location. So pretty straightforward.
What's your opinion on boats versus boats and trailers, or boats or trailers only on the slope? I don't want to put you on the spot, but you...
Yeah, I agree. So right on the face of that slope, as you start to go uphill, it's just not a good idea. The soil is going to get beat up and eroded, so I think the condition makes a lot of sense.
Joe, what's going to catch the water coming down that slope, trailer or not?
So all that will either gravity drain directly to the device, or if it starts to go off the site, there's swales that flank both sides of the
Because I don't
development.
have a
So
stormwater plan in my thing here. Do you have a?
you should. But yeah, so basically both sides of the development have a swale on either side that'll bring it to the stormwater control device.
Down further, there's a section right here.
When are you gonna build the building?
Is anybody else,
Is your building gonna be built this year?
No, actually, it's too late now for us to change that. The building will go in the most level part of the site. If you drove in that road directly straight ahead, that's where that building
Yeah,
is.
that's about where we parked this morning.
Yeah, right now.
Below it is the detail.
And that's for inside storage?
That'll be just for inside storage, it'll just be a big full line style building, whether it's metal or wood, we'll sort of explain that as a personnel fluctuation.
Unheated, et cetera, et cetera.
Unheated, no structured floor, there's gravel on the floor. And then there's some watershed on the outside.
And where's your wash station?
The wash station's over there. There's a bunch of boats parked on there now, because we haven't washed anything in a while. But just as you drive in, there's a little wash station right
Okay.
now. Right. We don't have a well, we use tanking water. We have a little trailer, we have a pressure washer and tank water in there. So we utilize that.
yeah, I know the answer to this question, but just for the matter of the record, what's the status of the permit with Hague?
The first thing we did was obviously got the permit from Hague, and what we realized when we got to the end of this process is that there was a difference in the boat count. The permit with Hague, we failed to, well, first of all, we failed to count the boats inside the building with the Hague permit, so we wanted to add those to it. And when we got the stormwater done, there was some allowance for additional boats, 15 additional boats when we did the stormwater plan. So we're going to go back to the town and just make those alterations, include the number of the boats down Hague that are inside the building, those 20 boats, and those 15 extra boats that will be outside. So we'll make that modification. We have a permit, I think it's 140 boats total. Then the town Hague permit, but like I said, we neglected to count the boats that were inside the building, which is part of your count. And then we're gonna add those 15 boats outside.
Yeah.
We've spoken to the town, Kathy, about getting a modification on that. She has spoken to the planning board chairman, and we're gonna go in for review at their next meeting, and hopefully just get the...
Yeah, just, you know, if we grant you the permit, just like all of our permits, it's contingent upon you getting all the other appropriate permits. Yeah, I think you understand that.
I'm on the ZBA in my town, so I understand how the process works.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I got one for Joe. What are the soils on the slope?
What are the soils on the slope? Good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if I run the stormwater packet. It'll take me a minute to find.
All right,
find it for you.
yeah.
I know it's well drained. Their, device is relatively shallow, as I said, but they're getting no runoff from the site after things hit the infiltration device. So I'm guessing it's Hinkley or something, but it's good A soils, and the way they modeled it because of the compaction due to boat storage. Even the grassed areas that aren't technically impervious, we had them model it at the next toughest hydrologic soil group. So if it's A's now, we're calling them B's post-development, just assuming some compaction.
Right.
So but they are visible.
And there's the stippled area, which is labeled as proposed grass drive area. Has any thought been put into, because that's the well-traveled area, making that gravel and also, crushed stone or something like that, because that'll be the most compacted area for the parking of boats on that slope, or trailers even. I mean, it's not going to make a difference. You're going to drive, you're going to tow something up there, whether it's a boat or a boat and a trailer. And that could perhaps aid in some of the erosion protection for the soils above it.
We're more than happy to accommodate it. Obviously, there's some expansion built into this plan. We don't have that many boats. Correct. So as we move into this project, we'll do whatever is necessary to make sure that they're not an erosion problem. Obviously, that's in our best interest.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm not sure. Were you suggesting using gravel instead of grass on the slope?
For the access roads, for where they're driving up and then back in the trailer.
Oh, not the slope itself.
Not the slope itself. Right.
Okay, I was going to say, that's not going to work with the grass.
No. Okay.
And that's something we requested at the staff level too, that all the driving areas, because you see, on the site today, the areas where they've been driving, they were grass 3 years ago. Now it's exposed soil, so we've asked for number 2 stone on all the driving lanes.
Yeah, well, item 2 is good until it packs down and then it doesn't really do it. If they had crushed stone on there, that'd be better.
Crushed stone, lock right in, that'd be good, yeah.
Any further questions for the applicant? Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the audience want to make a comment on this application? Steve?
As an individual town, I've watched Scott operation here for years, and I'm familiar with how they operate, and I know that Joe is, and Roger. I think it would be a good thing to improve it. I think he does a nice job. The people in town, which we have no business like in town, and I hope you can be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Sir?
Town Hague. I just wanted to come here and we support Scott, and he's good business for Hague. We just view him as positive growth. I know my family feels the same way. Trout House. And I'm just here as an individual representing my family as well. Just wanted to let the board know how we feel. Just think you embrace the community, and we would think that the approval would just be very positive for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Joe?
Okay, resolution 2018-37, application number 5226-46-16 M1. Applicant is Spoon Lake Marina. Whereas the applicant has applied for a permit to expand the Class A marina to provide outdoor winter storage for up to 156 vessels and construct a building for indoor winter storage for up to 20 vessels. Whereas the Lake George Park Commission has reviewed the application, supporting documents, comments received, and other information which appears on the record. The Commission has made a determination that the project is an unlisted action pursuant to State Environmental Quality Review Act of 6 NYS 617.5, and as lead agency for the purpose of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, has made a determination that the project will have no significant impact on the environment. Whereas the action is considered to be a major project pursuant to 6 NYCRR 645-5.3. Public notice has been published and distributed as required. The applicant has demonstrated that the facility complies with Class A marina requirements of 6 NYCRR 646-1.2. And whereas the Commission finds the project will have no adverse impact on the health, safety, or welfare of the public, the environment, or the resources in the park, will not alter the essential character of the area in which is proposed, will not lead to congestion in the park, and will not have an undue visual, cultural, audible impact on the neighborhood or the park. Now therefore be resolved, the Lake George Park Commission hereby resolves to approve the above application with the following modifications or conditions. One, that the access road is constructed with crushed stone, and that parking on the slopes greater than 10% will only be trailers, not trailers and boats. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the marina application with the aforementioned.
Oh, and one other condition, that the applicant works with the staff to make sure that all the permits are in order.
Okay.
How about
Any further discussion on the motion?
municipal approval?
That's what
That's a standard in,
That's what I
that's standard in every single permit we issue.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Regarding the condition with boats versus boats and trailers, if the soils have been already thought to be weak and therefore subject, to the SWIP, the stormwater pollution plan has been accommodated for compaction already, and if the gravel, and if there's going to be crushed stone drives up there, does it really matter whether a boat pulled on there is, or if there's a boat pulled on there versus a boat in a trailer? It's not a repetitive thing. It's parked for the winter, left. Is the magnitude of those impacts going to cause a bigger problem? I think it's more the roads itself, and a boat also covers the ground versus a trailer, which leaves most of the ground exposed. So I'm just saying, is that a condition you really want to put on it at this point?
Yes, because it's a safety issue.
Well,
The boat is on a 10-15 degree. I think that's a safety issue.
A safety issue, personally, should be left up to the owner of the boat and the operator of the facility. That's just my opinion, so.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments on it? Well, you still have a motion on the floor.
Right, with the same conditions.
Right.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carried. Thank you. We had a law enforcement meeting prior to this meeting. Mr. Chairman?
We did. And Lieutenant John brought us up to date on some equipment scheduling and equipment needs, and where our future equipment may or may not be coming from. and we discussed a very, very busy month from the Marine Patrol, which included Log Bay Day with no incident, a number of accidents and incidences, items like that, just on the Marine Patrol, and they've been very, very busy. We then went into executive session to discuss some enforcement actions against particular individuals and or businesses, and resolved, and then adjourned. And I have a resolution 2018-38.
Before you read that, can I interject one thing? I would like, for the public's benefit, just a slight expansion from either yourself or Joe on the Log Bay Day. That's what everybody seems to be interested in, and it's almost like, it's almost like it didn't happen.
Yeah, Log Bay, we closed down Bay again this year. We put out patrol boats from 7:30 in the morning, so we had more boats lay down. We had other agencies come in. We did WI checkpoints at the end of the day. We had boats, 2 jet skis from New York State Park Police come, a boat from Washington County, 2 boats from Warren County, 2 boats from DEC, and all our boats. About 180, 200 boats that afternoon and evening on the lake. Had several DWI checkpoints. We had 3 of them set up on the lake. No tickets were issued, no DWI arrests. Worked out perfect. They did not happen. We're very pleased with that. We're going to keep all the efforts. We'll cut it down a little bit each year, but people are going to know that we're there and we're having a lot of staff.
Thank you, Joe.
And also, we should know that the commission has always had a fantastic Marine Patrol, and Lieutenant Johns goes above and beyond. If there's nothing on that lake that he doesn't know about. It seems he's out there 24 hours a day, never sleeps, never eats, and tell that by looking at him.
Thought you were complimenting.
When I'm up here and there's no filter, it just gets dangerous. I beg your forgiveness. I'm going to read this resolution. Okay to read the resolution? Okay, Chainsaw. 2018-38, whereas the Law Enforcement Committee met August 28, 2018 to review matters pertaining to the Lake George Park Commission's Marine Patrol and the Commission's law enforcement program, and whereas active law enforcement cases and their status were reviewed in executive session, and whereas the Law Enforcement Committee has reported on the results of that committee meeting at this full commission meeting, and whereas the Law Enforcement Committee recommends acceptance of this month's law enforcement report, now therefore be it resolved that the commission accepts the report of the Law Enforcement Committee, and I would make that a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the Law Enforcement Committee report. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Rather short meeting. Public comments. Thank you, Steve. You're going to keep this from being the shortest meeting on record.
First of all, I'd like to welcome all the commissioners to Paradise. We're glad to have you up here. You're always welcome, and we appreciate you helping the town out. And I'd like to just comment on the Marine Patrol issue. They've been very active with us at the beach. They've helped us with some accidents. They've helped us with some DUI issues. And Mark helped us with buoy channel markers and stuff like that. I introduced Joe to Chris Bocott, who runs the Hague Open Water Swim. They had a good discussion, and they were on patrol then. I think there's some recommendations he made that Chris is going to adhere to next year. Hopefully they continue to make the open water swim a nice, safe event in Hague. And we appreciate your efforts on that, Joe. And I'd also like to keep going about the kayak flags that you and I talked about, Bruce. I talked about it the last meeting, we talked about it last year, and now I come to find out that one of the commissioners just put 4 of the kayaks that I showed at the last meeting on his boats. Thank you, Bill, and we hope that you guys can continue to try and push that forward as a safety issue on the lake, and we appreciate all the work you guys do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. I always appreciate that kind of public comment. It's not always what we get. Thank you. Any further comments?
I might make a motion.
Motion to, sir?
Since I forgot to put on the agenda the Asian clam survey, we did have a week-long Asian clam survey last week. and it was going wonderfully successful. No new sites found until the last day up in the paradise of Hague. Unfortunately, I was letting Steve know. The afternoon of the last day, we hit Hague Motel, and we found one Asian clam at the Hague Motel. That's about 3/4 of a mile north of the previous known site and south of Rogers Rock, which is also a known site. We continued across the Hague Brook Delta. We did find 5 or 7 Asian clams within the delta, which is tiny, but that's the way the English Brook Delta started. And Mr. Patchett just left, but the furthest north we found them was on the Trout House Village Beach. So that is a huge swath of sand that runs across the entirety of Hague, and it was a bit of an inevitable thing to happen at some point. We were hoping it was going to take a while to happen. So the numbers are still way down, and we hope they stay way down. But the positive is that was the only site that was identified as a new site this year. It just happens to be. So I expect to write a report tomorrow and get that out to everybody, but that's the quick synopsis of our survey. Thank you so much for all the volunteers that helped out. Joe Johns had 2 of his patrol in the water at 8:15. We were leisurely enough to start at 9:15 ourselves, but he got them out there. And overall, the question keeps coming back: what is the impact ultimately to Lake George from Asian clams? And we don't have a great answer for that. We talked to all the scientists that do know this type of thing. The common answer that comes back is currently right now we found no real discernible recreational or environmental impact from the clams at this stage. However, every year it is a boom-bust cycle. So 95+% of the clams in Lake George die because they're a warm water species, but guess what survives? The stronger ones, the ones that are more adapted to the cold weather, and they're the ones that keep breeding, and the ones that survive are the better, or the better, or the better. And from our understanding and experience from Lake Tahoe, that's basically what happened out there. So we're keeping an eye on it. Darren Freshwater continues to do research on that. Our Asian Clam Fund that's being managed by Walt Lender through the Village of Lake George, the funds are down pretty low. But we're just hoping for good things from Mother Nature, and hopefully the numbers will stay down in the future. So thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion
Move to
on,
adjourn.
sorry, on the
Second.
floor.
Yep.
Any further discussion on the motion to adjourn? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You guys give it to Hart Bay?
We haven't done Hart Bay because Hart Bay is completely encrusted by about this much organic material, and we sift the crap out of Hart Bay.